All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today is Thursday, October 18th, 2012. Let's start right off with the results. Gold, we were minus 8 ticks. Crude oil, we were plus 7 ticks. And the Russell, we were plus 1 tick. All right, we didn't have a ton of trades this morning. I won't get into it. But we didn't have a ton of trades this morning. We had a ton of opportunity. Of course, every day there's a bunch of opportunity when you have this many markets going. It's our thought that there's always a market somewhere that's tradable. All right, if you have not taken a free trial with us, go to www.cfrn.net/apply and sign up for the free trial. All we ask for is your name and email address. Please give us a first and last name and an email address. And we will send you an email that will have instructions to download the platform that you see me trading on right here. It will have all the indicators, will be available to you for 5 business days. It will also have instructions to get into the live trading room every morning for 5 business days. All right. Thank you. Every morning for 5 business days, it will. You'll be able to get into our live trading room for 2 hours from 9:30 to 11:30 Eastern Time. All right. There will also be a link to get into this session, and that's it. All that for free. All right, moving on. The results. I already went over the results, but I'll do it again. Gold, we were minus 8 ticks. Crude oil, we were plus 7. And the Russell, we were plus 1. The trade setups. All right, I didn't take any trades on the ES. There was one here that I missed. There's another one. If you watched it come up here to the red area on a 10,000 contract chart, it bounced off of that back down to the BBC. It pulled through all that over here. This is the spot that Dwayne had mentioned a little while ago. Right there. Okay. I didn't take that long trade right there because we had downward sloping tops. Okay, we had higher lows, lower highs. Lower highs is what I mean. Lower highs. Once you close above those lower highs, and I pointed this out yesterday, once you close above those lower highs, that opens the door. Okay? And it happens over and over and over again. Once you close below the higher lows, it opens the door. All right? You can do that in a lot of different ways. But that's why I didn't take the trade this morning. That was the ES. I didn't take anything on the YM. As a matter of fact, I hardly even looked at the YM. I did look at it at one point right here, the same spot that the ES had that opportunity. The YM had an opportunity similar to it right here with bullish divergence, okay? But I did not take any trades over there this morning either. All right, let's take a look at the 6E, okay? Yes, Jack, and I got your email yesterday. Sorry, I did not respond to it yet, but that's all good. I imagine we'll be checking that out this weekend sometime. All right. Now the 6E this morning, after the open right here, had to pull back up to the red dash on the yellow brick road right there. All right, it dropped off of that down to the BBC, went back up through it, came back down to a blue area, gave 1 bar, a little better than 1 bar profit off of that, up to the BBC again, then dropped through it right in here. I had circled an area right here where if it closed down below that area, it should keep going down, and it did. Pulled back up to this red area right here, gave about 1 bar's profit from that down to the BBC, pulled up, back down. This was right here with bullish divergence, pull back to the BBC. After the bullish cross, back to the BBC with an up close, and it's doing it again right here, but right now the euro is not something I would be trading. All right, this would be considered the euro Globex right now. George, okay, that was to Dwayne, not to me. Okay, good. All right, soybeans. We looked at soybeans at the open, at 10:30 at the open over here. We were looking at soybeans. We had a bullish cross back here, pre-market, pulled back down, tested the BBC, and gave an up close with bullish divergence. This was at the open. Now, after the open here, somewhere in here, somebody said, one of the partners, I think, asked Dwayne, said, Dwayne, what do you see on the soybeans today? And Dwayne said, I like a buy at... Let me see, I wrote it down. I like a buy at 15.39 and a sell at 15.10. what he meant was you could put a buy stop in at 15.39 and a sell stop in at 15.10, and if they triggered, you would be trading. When it got up here to 15.39, it triggered him in with his buy stop, and we didn't see his DOM. I forgot to do that part, but he got a couple of points out of that pretty quickly. But you can see right here, if you got in there at 15.39 with the buy stop, it pretty quickly went up to 15.43, which is a 4-point gain. It then pulled all the way back down here. Okay, we had a blue area here, but it didn't bounce at that spot. It bounced a little farther along over here. But you can see it's still going up. From 15.39, it's made it up to 15.47 3/4 for a 8 3/4 point gain, or a cent gain, which is the equivalent of an 8 3/4 point gain on the ES. And that right there is that. All right, that was the soybean move. That was the soybean prediction for the morning that Dwayne nailed pretty well again. Alright, the NQ. I didn't take any NQ trades this morning either, though I did make a little video this morning about trading the yellow brick road with the NQ in congested areas. I think I did. It didn't come out so much on the NQ as it did on the gold, because gold was actually doing it at the time. It's probably an 8-minute video. I'll have to put it out on YouTube at some point and get a link out to all the partners that want it. I believe it was right near the top of the hour is what it was, and I was saying, yeesh, I don't know where it was exactly, but anyway, at the open, right here, it pulled back down to a blue area on the NQ, moved up pretty hard off of that, came down here again, moved up just about 1 bar's distance, right up to the BBC. From the BBC, it was rejected. I circled this area in here because we had the down close here. This is the close below that, which triggered lower prices. All right. Over here, it pulled back up and through the red area. Now, if you had shorted this one right here, all right, 27.60.75, it pulled all the way back up to 27.62 1/4 for a 6-tick drawdown before it went all the way down here to 27.58.54, which is a 9-tick profit. Okay, I usually use I always use 8 ticks risk on every market that I trade. This would have kept you in the trade right here. There was one over here similar to that right here. I know we had a partner that stopped out this morning on this one because she only had 4 ticks risk on it. It did go down to the BBC and bounced off the BBC with the long trade right there. Okay. All right, Mike is in the room. I'm gonna move quickly now, as if I wasn't moving fast already. But look over here. We had the bearish cross. Then you look for a pullback up to the BBC and a down close. We had that right there, with bearish divergence down here on the bottom. All right, it gave a little bit of profit. The MA1 held it in place. Then it pulled up to a red area right here, and it really bounced down off of that. Did the same thing again right here. And right here we had a pullback up to test the BBC with a down close with bearish divergence. All right. Now, I originally was thinking of calling this yellow line the backstop, because when price goes right through the BBC like this, oftentimes it's going to stop here at the yellow line. All right. In this case, it had a red area for you to sell off of right there. Okay. Now over here, and this is important. I'm not sure why it painted red right there. I think something was a little mixed up in the numbers right here. But when the MA1 is approaching the other side of the BBC, because everything gets done, like 1 bar in arrears. No, Frank, it wasn't. Because everything gets done 1 bar in arrears, sometimes you're going to have a red where it seems like you shouldn't have one, like right here where the MA1 is above the BBC, it's showing red, but that's really reflecting on this bar right here where it's not. All right, just keep that in mind. And most indicators are like that. They look 1 bar back, at least 1 bar back to paint things. I would fix that, but unfortunately the software that you have to write this in doesn't allow it. that's neither here nor there. All right, so we had it flipped to the upside right here. Okay, after this red dots, these red lines right in here, it did not put in a lower pivot. So this one right here was a little suspect. Okay, so it broke the elbow to the upside, or it broke the yellow line to the upside, and we got an up close on it right here. An opportunity to get long was right in there, and up it went. It pulled back down here. It didn't actually hit it here, so you had to wait and wait and wait and wait. That's, you know, pretty much all the same things on the NQ. All right, I'm not gonna run through every little bit. If you guys want to see this stuff, it's the same thing day after day after day. All right, and we have recaps on the website. The recaps are up to the 15th. After today, we'll have all the way up to October 15th in recaps on the website. You can go back and look at them. All right. They're all recorded, and as this one is right now. All right. This didn't pull all the way back up here. Watch for it to give a lower low, all right, a lower pivot. If it gives a lower pivot, then watch for another pullback up to either the BBC or the yellow line. Okay. Let's jump off of this into one of the other markets right now. Let me see. I don't have this gold. Here's gold. Let's see. I took one trade in gold today. 2 trades in gold. I took one over here and I lost 8 ticks, and I took another one here, and I took a break even on it. But you can see I highlighted a bunch of areas in here. We had a bearish cross, a pull back up to the VBC. You could have sold that. Now this was actually what I did in the recording this morning. I bought right here. I didn't actually mark it, but I bought right here this morning, and my expectation was that it was going to work its way up to the BBC right here. Okay. And this is in the recording that I made, that I'll make available to you folks relatively soon. I didn't actually get out up there. I got out break even over here. But once it closed on the other side of the MA1, I moved my stop to break even, and I was looking for it to move up a little higher. Actually, once it had made 4 ticks, I moved my stop up to break even, and it came back down and stopped me out right here. It had given, I was expecting it to give me at least 4 ticks, and it gave 6. Initially it gave 6. You should have entered into this at, I don't know, where the heck was it, 44.5. I got in at 44.6, and it went up to 45.6. So it gave 11 ticks profit, actually. And I said, from the BBC, you should anticipate that the BBC is going to hold right here, because the MA1 had moved down below it. Anticipate the BBC is going to hold, so you could short the BBC on a down close for the move down. That's all in the recording that I made this morning. Right, but that was the first one right there. Pulled back up to the red area right here. Again right here. Blue right here. Blue right here as well. But this one didn't put in a higher swing, so this one becomes a little suspect, as does that. Alright, pulled up to the red right here, and it drew down a little before it finally moved down. I took this short trade here. I pulled back up to the BBC after the bearish cross with the bearish divergence. I took the short here, and it went right up here, stopped me out, and then went down off of the red area. Let's see, just moving along here. I went over here. I took a short at this little red area right here. I went short, and then the elbow changed directions on me, so I took a break even on it, and there was something else. I don't remember why else I had done that this morning, but I had gotten out a break even on the trade, and you can see it did turn around and move in the opposite direction. If it had tested the BBC here, we could have bought an up close, but it didn't actually test it until over here. It tested the BBC and gave an up close for the move up, and that was a good chunk of what happened this morning. That wasn't everything, but that was a good chunk of it. All right, that was gold. We had Russell and also the crude oil, all with the same stuff, guys. I'm not going to go through the Russell and the crude oil because I know we got Mike waiting in the green room right now. So I'm just going to jump out there. I'm going to stop the recording. Reminder for everyone who is on the free trial, we have a partners meeting tonight, 9 p.m. If you want to be in that partners meeting, you need to take care of the paperwork. It should be in your inbox, all right? And all you have to do is check it out. If you don't have it in your inbox, if you want to get into the partners meeting tonight, send us an email at support@cfrn.net. Just put partners meeting in the header, all right, and we'll get you into it. I see some folks are in here who have taken the trial in the past. If you guys are interested, send us an email. All right. Support@cfrn.net. All right, going to wrap it up right here.